This is That Pickleball School, and I'm Jason, the CMO behind this school community. We're literally the #1 ranking school on Discovery, and we generate over $41,000 per month. So in this video, I'll break down exactly how we became the #1 community on school, so you can implement these strategies for your own community. It's about running a great community. And believe it or not, if you run a great community, you're going to improve on school discovery. Hey, so what you're looking at now is the ranking page on school.com. And for the last couple months, That Pickleball School has been ranked #1 out of 190,000 communities. In this video, I'm going to show you why. By the way, my name is Jason. There's absolutely no reason for you to know me, but I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for That Pickleball School and Savvy Basketball. I'm a 4-time school games winner, and currently the communities that I help run earn over $40,000 MRR each. And before I get into the details, I want to make one thing clear. When we were starting That Pickleball School, it was not our goal to be the #1 community on school. Ranking #1 just ended up being a byproduct of running a really great community. And the reason that matters is because if you're watching this hoping to see some hacks or some secrets or some behind the scenes things that is going to skyrocket your school to #1 on Discovery or, higher in the ranking, you're going to be disappointed. But if you really want to see what it takes to run a really great school community, get the behind the scenes philosophy of what we do every day, this video will help you. So a few things I want to get straight before we dive too deep into this video. If you're looking for hacks or quick fixes to your community or things that are just that other people don't know about that you think is a secret that's going to propel you to #1, you're sadly mistaken. This video is not going to do that. Instead, what this video will do is share how we think about community, how we think about building and growing and retaining our audience, and just having a service mindset. Because truly, the best way to rank highly in Discovery is to run a really great community. So a lot of you ask, what the hell is a pickleball school doing being #1 on school? In fact, there have been several posts on Schoolers, like this one from Jay, who says, "How active is that damn pickleball community?" Pretty active. Okay, so if we want to talk about how to rank highly on school and kind of how we do it, there are some parameters that school actually tells you. So if you look at what school actually ranks, they go by member growth, they go by engagement, they go by retention. If you go to the school discovery tab, you can actually see the different things that matter for showing up in discovery and ranking very highly. And like I said, when we started, this wasn't a goal of ours. We wanted to run a great community, but it had nothing to do with being #1 on sports or #1 overall on the entire platform. We got very fortunate that because we run a great school community and we consistently show up and we got in there at the right time. So if you want to see what it actually takes to rank highly on school discovery, you can look at your school discovery page inside the settings of your community and find out. But at the end of the day, school rewards healthy communities. So at a very high level, our philosophy is this. We want to get the right people in, meaning our own internal team, but also the members that join our community. We want to treat members exceptionally well. We never want to take for granted the fact that somebody paid $39 to get into our program and then continues to pay money as they stay. And then we care very deeply about the experience. How do we deliver world-class teachings so that the people who join our community get a transformation and get exactly what they want out of their membership? And then finally, we do a lot of work to tell the world that our community exists. We drive about 1,500 pieces of traffic every single day. A big part of that is because we're #1 on school discovery, but we produce a lot of organic content, as I'm going to show you. We have several funnels that direct everyone to school. So we spend a lot of time thinking about what's the experience inside of school, but also what's the experience outside of school. What are people seeing from us on a regular basis to draw attention to ourselves and to attract people to our channels? So how do we actually operationalize all of this? We use a framework. It's GREAT. GREAT. G is for growth, R is for retention, E is for engagement, A is for activation, and T is for transformation. When we think about growing our community, the first thing that comes to mind is finding the right people. We don't want to just pull in any pickleball player from around the world. There are millions around the world. We want to pull in people who take their pickleball semi-seriously to the point where they actually want to get better and they feel justified in spending money to get better, right? That's an important qualifier to enter our program. And the way we do this is we have multiple funnels. Our main funnels are a newsletter. We have over 16,000 people on our newsletter subscriber list. We send 2 newsletters a week, and we also use it for big sales pushes or to share any organic content that we create. We have an organic YouTube with over 200,000 subscribers on it. We produce long form videos, we do short form, and mostly it's about building the brand of Kyle, that pickleball guy, Kazuda, who is the main face of That Pickleball School. He's been doing this for a little over 3 years, and he has hundreds of videos that has allowed people over the years to find him, fall in love with him, and then continue that relationship within our community. We also do this through Instagram. So we repurposed a lot of our content onto Instagram, onto other channels, Facebook, TikTok, everywhere. But our main channels are newsletters, YouTube, and Instagram. And another way we grow our community is through challenges. So every quarter we have a 30-day or 21-day or some kind of challenge that not only gets the people inside the community excited and ready to make another transformation and improve their skills, but it gets people on the outside excited about a very specific thing to want to enter the community for. So R is for retention. And when we think about retention, it's like, okay, why do people stay? One, we have to have clear onboarding to not only guide people on what to do when they enter the community, but also to give them a reason to stick around long term. In our onboarding, we talk about our mission. We talk about the different ways they can find content, that we talk about how they can connect with the community. Onboarding itself is an art and a science. And if you have no kind of onboarding sequence, whether it's through email, whether it's just through interactions with the member, whether it's a start here post, you really should get that going as soon as possible, because the worst thing that can happen is someone to come into a room, stand there for 30 days, nobody ever say anything to them, and then they just walk out quietly. And we kind of have this unwritten rule of like, nobody gets to come in quietly, right? Even if they don't necessarily make a post or they're not active right away, we make sure to reach out to them. And Kyle does a great job of doing that himself. Sure, we have the auto DM on, but then we also encourage them to respond to that auto DM so that we can help them solve their problems as soon as possible, help them get a quick win. In fact, we did a recent experiment where we took 50 people who did not respond to that first comment and 50 people who did respond to that first comment. Of people who didn't respond to that initial DM from Kyle, about 32% of them did not make it past the free trial. Of the 50 people who did respond to Kyle and got another response from Kyle, basically solving their problem, he would do this with a personal loom. He would tell them where to find the content they needed in the classroom or in the community. Of those people, over 80% made it through the 7-day free trial. There's a precedent set for if we can get someone to respond to us right away and solve their problem, that they're more likely to convert and stay within the community for a long time. So E is for engagement. And the big thing with engagement, and I see this a lot in schoolers, people ask like, well, how do I engage my community and how do I get them talking to each other? Nobody ever talks about anything. Honestly, you have to meet people where they are. You know, some people are never going to respond. They're called lurkers, right? Or wallflowers, whatever you want to call them. And those people are not necessarily looking to interact, and that's totally fine. It's our job to make sure that we are engaged, that we're building an environment that encourages that engagement. We talk a lot about wins. We are very encouraging. We make sure that no single post or comment goes unresponded to. Basically, everyone on our team has this philosophy that it's their job to make that experience as great as possible. And so we make posts as a team, as individual teammates. We have planned posts, but then we're also willing to post as inspired, right? But ultimately, what we want to make sure is that other people within the community are posting. And when they post, we don't take that for granted either. We respond to them, and it's not just a great job or anything like that. We try to go as deep as possible. And if there's a problem that they're trying to solve, we do whatever we can to solve that problem. Engagement is really important, but it can't be fake. It has to be genuine and great engagement. Activation. So when we think about activation, we think of, okay, how do we get this person going in a direction that's going to keep them long term? That's going to get them as much out of the program as they want to get. And so what we think about is early progress, clear next steps, momentum. How do we get them their fast wins? Those challenges are great for activation because someone who maybe hasn't been engaged or doing too much in the community for 60, 90 days, all of a sudden you throw a challenge up there like how to get better in 30 days, how to improve your serve, how to improve your mindset and become a better pickleball player in 30 days, that can go a long way into reactivating those kind of dormant members or those members who are thinking about canceling their account. So finally, the T stands for transformation. It's pretty widely accepted that if you really want to keep a member for life, it's all about the transformation. People don't join your group just because they want something else to do online. They join your group because they're trying to go from A to B or A to Z or C to D. There's somewhere where they are currently, and then there's somewhere where they want to be, and they believe that your community is that bridge. You're the one that's going to help them cross that threshold and get into wherever they want to be, whether it's better pickleball, whether it's more money in their business, whether it's growing their own community, whatever those things are, it's your job to make sure that you're providing an atmosphere and an environment that builds transformation. And so we focus a lot on transformation. We don't publish content just to publish content. We publish content with intent of who it's going to help, how it's going to help them, how fast it's going to help them. And then we focus on directing people to that content as quickly as possible as soon as they enter the community. So now something worth talking about is as you're kind of building your team for your community, early on it's probably just you, maybe along the path you get a community manager or moderator to help you out. The thing that's most important to realize is that if you want to build a long-term successful community, it's going to be very difficult to do it yourself. Yes, there are people like Nick Sarive or other community owners who do it themselves, and good for them. But for us, when we first started, we knew we were going to be in it for the long term. And so we wanted to build a team that mattered and to build a team that really cared about our vision and what we were trying to accomplish. Just as we're intentional about who enters our community, we're very intentional, even more so, on who runs the community. Me, as the Chief Marketing Officer, I don't spend a lot of time inside the community itself, but I do spend a lot of time directing people to the community. And so from a marketing perspective, it makes my job so much easier to know that if I send 1,000 people into a community or 1,000 people to an about page, that if they convert, they're going to be well taken care of. And it makes me sleep better at night knowing that the team that we have is all in and they're just as excited to serve and build this community as I am talking about it through the different funnels. One light bulb moment for our team was when we won the school games the first time back in March in Q1 of 2025 this year. And then we went to the school games and we got so inspired by just the discussions that were had by Sam, by different community owners. And throughout the day, one thing became very clear, that if we're going to succeed on this platform, we have to be all in. We have to have people who really care, who are really all in, and who want to serve. And so when we came back from the school games in April and May, we actually lost a few teammates because we kind of set a bar to be like, hey, if you're not here, that's fine, but that's not what we want. And so what we need to do is change the team, and we actually lost some team members. But through that, we became stronger. People picked up, other people carried the load that was left behind, and we are so much stronger because of it. And we truly believe that over the long haul, nobody's going to beat us. We're going to be number one for a long time. Even if we're not number one on overall school discovery, which is fine, we will be number one on just serving the people that we serve. And that's really the most important part for us. So historically, That Pickleball School has had a 2%, 3%, no higher than 8% churn rate. And I think that is just a testament to the team that we have, to Kyle, to Tyler, to Ciara, our newest community manager, to Alexa behind the scenes, to all these people that are part of the team that are really intentional in what they do. I think of all the things that we've done and all the things we've achieved, our low churn rate is actually what we're most proud of. Today, we have over 1,300 active members. When we won the school games back in April, we were at about 600 members. So we've almost doubled since that time. And we've had over 3,000 people come through That Pickleball School over time. So to wrap up this video, I just want to say that it's always fun to get 10 tips. It's always fun to get the hack, or, people just want to know like what specific thing they can do. And ultimately, at the end of the day, what makes school as a platform so great is the intention that Sam and Hermosi and everyone at the school HQ puts into the care, the service, the experience. And if you just model that, and if you have the same values, you're going to have a great school community. You might not ever get to number one on Discovery, but you can become number one to your community member. And ultimately, that's all that matters. And so what I want to just encourage you to do today is think about the great communities that you've been a part of. What's made them great? How can you put your own spin on that? How can you adapt that? How can you take some of the things that I've said in this video and run with it and build your great community moving forward? So build a great community first. The discovery will follow. Don't worry too much about the rankings, and don't worry about the time frame that it takes. It might take a month, it might take 6 months, it might take 2 years. Whatever that is, all that matters at the end of the day is that you treat your people well, you run a great community, and that everyone benefits from the fact that you put yourself out there, that you're willing to be an owner, and that you're willing to facilitate the greatness that it takes to run a great community. If you're a sports or fitness coach, I invite you to join Great Community Leaders. It's my school community. It's not built on courses or programs necessarily. It's built on one-on-one connection. It's built on those high leverage things. How can I help you become a great community leader? That's truly what it's all about. Anyways, I'm Jason Flam. Thank you so much for watching my video. Make sure to hit subscribe, the like button, all that good stuff. I'm new to YouTube, so this probably sounds terrible. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.